Under federalism, under that system that you propose, who would have power at the regional level, in the regional governments? Would they have some, because when you look at the federal arrangement that Buganda has for long proposed, a lot of most of this power would usually vest the top power in the hands of a cultural leader of that particular area. Say in Buganda it would be like the king, in Ankole it would be like the Mugabe, in Bunyoro it would be like the Mukama. Is that the kind of, would you go with that kind of system?
No.
Or do you see where those regional governments come up with their own power arrangements? And
no, because
they're going to control resources.
They are going to control.
And they will have to be accountable to people.
Yes, and they will have to be electable. They have to be elected. It has to be elected federal leaders, not cultural. Elected.
Oh.
Because the people, they cannot be taxation without representation. So if my name is Okello and I live in let's say in the central region, and I pay taxes in the central region, I'm going to have a say on who is the governor of the central region through a vote, okay? Because the people who are in all these regions are not going to be people who necessarily subscribe to the tribe that is the main tribe in that region. You understand?
Yes, because
so now, for instance, Kampala is
cosmopolitan,
very cosmopolitan. There are all sorts of people, and all of them, as long as you live here and as long as you get services here, you're going to pay taxes here. And as long as you pay taxes, you have to have a say on how you're governed. So I'm not talking about the cultural federal. I'm talking about the governance federal, like what we have, let's say, in America and in Nigeria, let's say, and even in Kenya, where, but these federal states are actually called after, the majority of the people there. For instance, because these are things we discussed previously, where we're talking about 15 federal states, and all of them are called according to the people, the majority of the people who are there. For instance, we have Uganda, we have Bunyoro, we have Toro, we have, Chigezi, and so on, and all Bugisu and all that. Not this Albertine and which Museveni is doing to try to take away people's,
Because we have those old regional groupings.
Those are the ones we go for, and we call them that. Because you see what happens is all this thing of calling Buganda Central is trying to take away the identity of people. And that's a problem, because you see, when I go to Bunyoro and they say this is Albertine, Albertine is a Muzungu. I'm a Bunyoro. It is Bunyoro, it's not Albertine.
The Albertine region even straddles as far as DR, some parts of Congo. That's what I've heard.
Whoever calls it Albertine, I mean, what we got. But my point is that there are people here who have an identity. Why are you tying there? Should we call Buganda Victorian? Because there is Lake Victoria here. No, so the thing is, we go for the federal states, and we call them according to that. There will probably be 15 maximum. Maybe Central Kampala can be another federal state.
So Kampala can carve out, can be given a special status from other,
as a state, also as a state.
The way Nairobi is.
The way Nairobi is, all the other.
Nairobi is a county, but it's also
a city and a county.
Yes.
Or the way even, let's say, Lagos is. Lagos is a state.
Or even Washington.
Or even DC. Yes. So, we can do that. But my point is, the reason you do this is because if you have all these 15 federal states and you have governors over them who are elected, and you have all of them have some level of parliaments, okay, where
so they have county parliaments.
Yes, where the discussions about the future, let's say, of TESO are discussed at, by the people in, some members of parliament for TESO region, not national. Now, when so that now the governors have a budget, they have people discussing how they are going to use it. They are given a lot of responsibility over things like building roads, building hospitals, building schools, with a budget, responsibility with the budget. Now, the reason that's important is there are certain places of Uganda which will never develop in the current methodology. For instance, how is Karamoja going to develop when all the resources from there are brought here and distributed according to how people want?